Hey everyone, I just finished binge watching House of Cards Season 4. Yes, that's right. From episode 1 to episode 13, all the way through. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. But as a person who watched House of Cards, the UK version, and still have it on DVD, I have to say that I'm always looking for similarities between the two versions. And folks, okay, if you don't want spoilers right now, turn away because they're going to come not in chronological order. I'm not going to give you that, but I'm going to give you parts that will lead to spoiling the story for you. So if you don't want that, if you want to be a junkie discussing this House of Cards Season 4 and all things House of Cards, okay, come back later. But I digress. What I'm looking for, the key character, is Nathan Green in House of Cards. Nathan Green is the deputy director of the FBI. Nathan Green's counterpart in House of Cards UK version is Corded. Corded is the the security manager. He is the security team head that is responsible for keeping watch over Francis Urquhart, who rises to prime minister in the British Parliament after first being chief whip, when he says he didn't want to be the PM, and he really did want to be the PM and managed to get himself in that role literally by murdering his way to the top. Look at them, because those actors have similar facial designs. That is not by accident. The producers and casting directors picked out that face to send a message. And so it's because of that I keep thinking, at what point will Nathan Green meet with Doug Stamper and give him the evidence that can implicate not just, in this case, Frank Underwood, but implicated Francis Urquhart. We saw that in House of Cards Season 4 when Nathan Green contacted Stamper and gave him the memo that was written by Lucas Goodwin, who eventually died after trying to shoot Frank Underwood. And in that memo, that long document, handwritten, listed the circumstantial evidence that would, if proven, be in total be enough to put Doug Stamper and Frank Underwood not just in jail, but under the jail, and perhaps onto the death penalty. That moment occurred in House of Cards Season 4. Nathan Green also, if he is anything like Corded, if his face was the actor's face was indeed, his name is Jeremy Holm, but the actor's face, if indeed it is intended for Nathan Green to be Corded, and I state that it is, then like Corded, Nathan Green will eventually arrange for, in some kind of way, the murder of Frank Underwood so that he can escape some type of investigation or penalty that will surely come. Thanks to Tom Hammerschmidt's excellent reporting, now it's out on the internet and it's spread around, and all of these allegations are presented against the Urquharts and against Doug Stamper. Because of all of this, Claire and Frank, toward the end, were saying, hey, you know what? There's going to be an investigation, and all this is essentially going to come to an end. You could feel the tension. You could feel the sadness. And I felt for them, because they wanted power to do good things, but they were too power hungry. They were too hungry for the power to want to get it in ways that were legal. Instead, they pulled every trick in the book, much of it illegal, and it's stacked up and stacking up. It's going to eventually spill over on them, and that's happened. It's teetering. They can see it teetering. They know it, but instead of caving in, instead of giving up, in the context of fighting what in House of Cards is the equivalent of ISIL, they declare war on it, but they declare formal war on terrorism, but they're declaring an informal war on their enemies, and they're threatening to basically come out guns a-blazing. But with the Underwoods, guns a-blazing is not figurative. It's literal. They really mean it. That sets up an exciting season 5. I love this. It's not just that political thriller intrigue that delves in the horror story, but also it's characters like Michael Kelly's Doug Stamper, who I will say again is an amazingly screwed up person. I mean, really, this guy brings new meaning to the term anger management. Really does. Any woman that gets involved with this fellow, well, except Tanis Palanto's Tammy, who managed to have fun and then move on without any harm. But in the other woman, you kind of think, God, what's he going to do to her? Because of what he did to Rachel Posner, right? Something about him is going to lead to a dastardly, ugly end. It just has to come in. Okay, here's the other thing about House of Cards, the American version. Just when you think someone's going to reach their end, like I thought when Rachel hit Doug over the head, that was it, he was dead, he came back to life. So things don't always go just like the UK version at all. It's different. The writers and producers have used the UK version as a foundation for a more complex story. And not only that, the set designs are beautiful. Look what they did with the Democratic Convention set in, the fictional convention set in Atlanta. The real one's going to be in Philadelphia. But they really got the look and the feel of the convention right. I've covered 2 Democratic National Conventions. They really got it right. That alone was impressive to watch that. And then, of course, there were the appearances of CNN's Van Jones and the legendary Wolf Blitzer and John King, which gave a powerful note of authenticity, along with Gwen Ifill of PBS, and in other episodes, George Stephanopoulos. But for season 4, the whole look and feel of it was so authentic. You could dive into it, swim around in it, come out and say, wow, I want to go back and don't jump in again. Really great stuff. I could go on, but I'm going to stop. House of Cards Season 4, you've got to see it. I can't wait for Season 5. And I'm going to make another video because there's more I want to talk about regarding Zoe Barnes and Corey Stoll and their return, and that sexual interlude scene where she sits on his lap. And anyway, you get the idea. All right.